It was supposed to be just another late-night stream for Speed. Chat was buzzing with excitement as he gamed until the early morning, energy running high. But then, something strange happened. The screen went black. The chat froze. And suddenly, Speed found himself waking up, not in his room, but on the soft sand of a mysterious island. East Blue, they'd call it in this world. But he had no idea where he was. Speed wakes up coughing, blinking. Speed? Jill? Sha? What is this? Where am I? Wait, this isn't my setup. This looks like some kind of pirate island or something. So, his energy was still high, but confusion clouded his mind. The last thing he remembered was hitting sleep on his streaming PC. Now he was here, in a brand new world with salty air and the sound of waves crashing nearby. Speed stands up, dusting himself off. Speed, I don't even have my phone. No Wi-Fi? How am I supposed to stream now? Shais Gunario. So, hungry and desperate, Speed started wandering toward the faint sounds of life. A small village, nestled between the palm trees and rocky cliffs. Smoke rose from chimneys, and villagers were going about their daily chores, eyeing him with suspicion. Villager 1 whispers to Villager 2. Who's that? Some kind of weirdo yelling at the air. Speed approaches a vendor selling fish. Speed, Jill, one of those grilled fish things, please. And maybe a burger? You got burgers here. Vendor, burgers? We have fish and rice, stranger. You don't look like you belong here. Speed, nope, not here. Definitely not. I'm Speed, the fastest, loudest, best pirate. Wait, pirate? I guess that's me now, huh? So, as Speed scavenged for food, he spotted something shiny sitting on a crate. A strange-looking fruit with a swirly pattern. On a whim, and hungry as ever, he bit into it. The moment the sweet juice hit his tongue, a strange energy surged through his body. Speed. Holy! That was weirdly good. What's this? Tastes like a burger fruit. So, unbeknownst to Speed, he had just eaten the legendary Inu Inu no Mi, model bar god, a mythical devil fruit that would forever change his fate. Suddenly, Speed's ears twitch. A faint bark escapes his lips. Speed. Wait, did I just bark? What's going on? Chat, can you hear me barking? But Speed didn't have time to figure out his new powers. Suddenly, the village was under attack. A group of pirate clowns, complete with oversized shoes and colorful wigs, stormed through, demanding food and treasure. Pirate clown leader, hand over all your food and money, or we'll turn this village into our circus playground. Villagers screamed and scattered, trying to hide. Speed. Jill. Chat, this ain't right. These clowns are messing with the wrong guy. Time to show him what the bark god can do. So, with a deep breath, Speed focused his newfound powers. His chest puffed out as he let loose a mighty, reverberating bark, a shockwave so powerful it sent the clowns flying backward. Pirate Clown 2. Whoa, what was that? It's like a sonic blast. Speed. That's right, clowns. Meet the bark attack. So, after the clowns fled, the villagers cheered for their strange new hero. Among them was Mina, a sharp-eyed young woman with a determined smile. Mina, you have quite the bark, stranger. Name's Mina. You saved us. What's your story? Speed. Story? I'm Speed, and I don't really know how I got here, but I guess I'm sticking around. You want to join my crew? We could be the barkiest pirates this world has ever seen. Mina, Lukes. Sounds like a plan, but you better keep up, Speed. And just like that, a new adventure began. Speed, the bark god, and Mina, his first crewmate, ready to shake East Blue with their wild escapades. After the chaos settled, Speed was left with a pounding heart and an even louder curiosity. What exactly was this fruit he ate? And why did he suddenly feel like he could hear every rustling leaf and distant footstep? Speed, scratching his head. Okay, chat, this ain't your normal snack. I feel like I just leveled up or something. Yo, check this. Speed raises his voice and lets out a sharp bark. Loud, echoing bark that shakes a nearby barrel. Villager, Easy there, stranger. You almost broke my card. Speed, grinning. Sue. Sorry. Guess I'm still getting used to this power thing. Wait, I feel faster? Stronger? This fruit's no joke, man. Speed flexed his fingers, noticing how his reflexes were sharper. Even his footing felt lighter, like he could dash across rooftops if he wanted. Determined to master his new abilities, Speed spent the next hours training in the village outskirts. He barked, ran, jumped, and practiced controlling the shockwaves from his mouth. Each bark sent small rocks flying or startled nearby birds. Speed, watch this, chat. Bark a Gatling, coming at ya. Speed unleashes a rapid series of short barks, creating a flurry of sound blasts. Villager kid, wow, you're like a one-man army. Speed, laughing. Damn right, kid. I'm the bark god now. Sue. But as night cloaked the village in darkness, strange whispers filled the air. Adiam bien suns. Villager elder. There's a darkness creeping closer. The pirate clowns won't be the last. Mina, frovning. Speed, you should know, this village isn't just any stop. It lies on a path many pirates travel through, and not all are as silly as those clowns. Speed. All right, no pressure, Mina. But don't worry, I got your back. Bark attack will keep everyone safe. Sue. The next morning, as Speed and Mina planned their next moves, a marine patrol arrived. Not here to help, but to interrogate the villagers about the recent disturbances. Marine Captain, any sign of pirates here? We will not tolerate lawlessness in East Blue. Speed, stepping forward. Hold up, Marines. You better back off before you get barked on. Marine soldier, laughing. What's this? A barking madman? Speed, you're about to find out. Sue, bark shockwave. Speed lets out a powerful bark that sends a shockwave at the Marines, who stumbled back surprised. Marine Captain, angry. Detain him. He's a dangerous criminal. Speed had just made his first enemy in this world, the Marines. Speed dashed through the village, the Marines hot on his heels. Using his newfound speed and barking shockwaves, he narrowly escaped capture. Speed, panting. Mina, need a place to hide. This ain't over. Mina, grabbing a satchel. Follow me. I know a secret cave nearby. Together, they escaped into the jungle, the sound of barking and shouting echoing behind. That night, hidden safely, Speed and Mina share their stories. Mina. I've been fighting pirates and Marines my whole life. But you're something else. Speed, smiling. Yeah, I guess I'm a crazy wild card here. But together, we're going to tear this world up one bark at a time. Mina, laughing. All right, bark god. Let's see what you've really got. Far away, in the shadows, a dark figure watched the village's chaos with growing interest. Shadow figure, whispering. The bark god awakens. It's time to test his strength. So there's Speed, crouched behind a tree with Mina in a shady jungle cave, trying his best to be low-key. But if you think Speed can be quiet, you don't know Speed. Speed, whispering loudly. Okay, chat, gotta calm down. No shouting, no barking, no SOS. But wait, why am I even whispering? I'm supposed to be a stealthy pirate? Pff, no. Speed suddenly does an awkward backflip off a rock, lands on his butt. Speed, grinning. Okay, maybe not stealthy, but look at that. Did you see that? I'm basically a ninja. Sue, Mina, false palming. Speed, please, can we just focus? Speed, rubbing his head. Focus, right? Focus. Chet always says focus. But man, this is hard when you're the bark god. Speed decided training meant throwing a tantrum and running full speed into trees. Because why not? Speed sprints wildly, crashes into a tree, and barks uncontrollably. Speed, bark, bark. Oof, that one hurt. Sue, but I'm not stopping. Bark, bark, bark. Mina, try not to laugh. You're supposed to control your powers, not destroy the jungle. Speed, grinning wildly. Control is boring. Unleash the bark god. Speed attempts a somersault, lands face first on a pile of leaves. Speed. Sue. Okay, I'm a little rough around the edges. Inside Speed's head, the chaos never stopped. Speed thinking rapidly. Okay, I gotta be the strongest pirate. Get the biggest bounty. Find the Wi-Fi. Eat burgers. Bark louder than anyone. Sue. Oh wait, what was I supposed to do next? Oh yeah. Train, save the village, talk to Mina, don't embarrass myself, but embarrass myself. Nah, forget that last part. Suddenly, Speed stops mid-sentence, eyes wide. Speed? Jill, look at that. A butterfly. Chat, butterflies are cool, right? Sue. He leaps trying to catch the butterfly, falls over again. Speed. Gotcha. Wait, nope, missed. Sue. Mina, looking. You really are a kid at heart. Speed, grinning. That's the secret to being a bark god. Keep your hype levels at 100%. Later, when bandits attack again, Speed gets serious. Well, as serious as he can. Bandit leader. We're here for loot, Bark Boy. Speed, puffing chest. Bark Boy. No, I'm Barku. Get ready for the bark attack. Sue. Speed crouches, takes a deep breath, then unleashes a thunderous bark. Massive shockwave that sends bandits flying and shatters nearby crates. Speed, panting excited. Did you see that? That was epic. Sue. At the end of the day, despite all the chaos, Speed and Mina sit watching the sunset, exhausted but smiling. Mina. You're crazy, Speed. But I like that. You're gonna go far. Speed, yawning. Yeah, as long as I don't accidentally bark the whole world into the ground first. Sue. Good night, Sha. After a day packed with barking battles and jungle training, Speed decided it was time to learn something very important. How to cook. Because, as he always said, a hungry bark god is a weak bark god. Speed excited. Alright, Sha. Today I'm going to cook the best meal this village has ever seen. Step 1. Catch some fish. Sue. Speed grabs a makeshift spear and lunges toward the river, but slips and falls face first into the water. Speed, spluttering. Whoa, not how I planned that. Sue. Okay, water's cold, but whatever, it's part of the journey. He splashes around wildly, knocking over a fishing net, scaring nearby villagers. Mina, hooking. Maybe leave the fishing to the pros and focus on cooking. Speed. Speed wipes his face, determined. Speed. Okay, cooking it is. How hard can it be? You just put stuff in fire, right? Sue. Cut to Speed accidentally setting a pot of water on fire, then trying to douse it with a bucket of dirt, creating a huge cloud of smoke. Villager kid coughing. Mister, are you okay? Speed coughing. Perfect. Smoky flavor, right? Cooking level. Expert. Sue. Just as Speed started getting the hang of village life, word spread about an upcoming festival celebrating the sea's bounty. The whole village was buzzing with excitement, and Speed decided to participate. Speed. Festival. Perfect. Time to show off my moves. And maybe bark a little. Sue. During the festival, Speed tries to enter the dance competition. Mina. Speed, you dance like a wild animal. Speed jumps, spins, does an over-the-top backflip, accidentally kicking a table full of food into the crowd. Speed laughing. That's just my unique style. Sue. Food fight time. Villagers laugh and play along, making the festival one of the wildest in years. Amid all the chaos, Speed's mind raced at 100 miles per hour. Half excitement, half confusion, and all unstoppable energy. Speed, thinking, okay, gotta get stronger. Gotta protect Mina, the village wait, do I still have my phone? No, that's a problem. Also, what's a pirate crew without a cool name? Bark Pirates? Nah, too obvious. Chat would roast me. Wait, should I build a treehouse base? Nah, castles are cooler. But wait, is there Wi-Fi in castles? Sue. So many questions. Just when Speed thought things were settling, the pirate clown gang returned. This time with their big boss, Juggles, the terrifying and ironically funny leader who wielded giant juggling pins as weapons. Juggles, grinning. So, Bark Boy thinks he can protect this village? Let's see if his bark is worse than his bite. Speed charges but trips over his own feet, tumbling headfirst into a barrel. Speed from inside barrel. Who put that there? Sue. He pops out, barks a quick shockwave that knocks Juggles off balance. Speed laughing. Bark attack, baby. Sue. The battle escalates with Speed dodging juggling pins, backflipping over attacks, sometimes clumsily, and unleashing new barking techniques. Just when things looked tough, Mina revealed a hidden skill, a precise sword strike that helped Speed turn the tide. Mina, Speed, focus your energy. I'll cover you. Speed nods and channels his bark power, letting out a massive sonic bark that sends Juggles flying. Speed, pumping fist. Teamwork makes the dream work. So, with the clowns defeated, the village erupted in cheers. Speed, panting and exhilarated, knew this was only the beginning. Speed, grinning. I'm just getting started, Mina. We're going to be the loudest, baddest pirates out here. Gark pirates, unite. So, Mina, smiling. I'm glad you're here, Speed. Let's see where this crazy journey takes us. But as they celebrated, the dark figure from the shadows watched with growing interest. A new chapter was about to begin. Shadow figure. The bark god is awakening. And soon, the seas will tremble. The next morning, Speed woke up with the sun blaring right in his face. No soft alarms, no gentle wake-ups. Just pure chaos. Because that's how Speed rolls. Speed, groaning. Why is the sun so bright? Who put that giant fireball there? So, Speed jumps out of bed, while a pile of leaves, and immediately attempts a backflip. He slips, lands on his face. Speed, laughing. Okay, I'm warming up. Just getting the blood flowing. So, he starts barking randomly, startling nearby birds who take off in a flurry. Mina, smiling. Do you always start a day like this? Speed, grinning. Every day's an energy day. Now what for breakfast? Hopefully not burnt leaves again. Determined to master his bark god powers, Speed launched into a training frenzy. But training with Speed meant a lot of noise and a lot of accidents. Speed sprints full tilt through the jungle, leaves flying everywhere. Speed, so, try and catch me, world. He attempts a huge backflip over a fallen log, but lands awkwardly and knocks over a beehive. Speed, panicked. Oh, bees. So, Speed runs in circles, screaming while Mina just shakes her head and laughs. Mina, maybe we should try a calmer training method. Speed, calm? Nah, calm's boring. We need hype. So, one evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Speed felt an unfamiliar surge in his chest, power bubbling up, begging to break free. He growled softly, his eyes flashing red. Speed, excited, confused. Whoa, what's happening? My eyes. They're glowing. Am I turning into a dog? Sue. His ears lengthened, a tail flicked behind him, and sharp claws appeared on his hands. Mina, surprised. That's the hybrid form. You're awakening the true power of the bark god. Speed, barking. Bark. This feels awesome. Sue. He unleashed a small sonic bark blast that shattered nearby rocks. Speed, pumped. Watch out, world. The bark god's just getting started. Sue. Despite his powers, Speed's goofy side always shone through. Like the time he convinced Mina to play bark tag. A ridiculous game where he chased her barking wildly, and she tried to avoid his sonic blasts. Mina, laughing. Speed, you almost knocked me off that cliff. Speed, grinning. That's the spirit. You gotta keep up. Sue. Speed attempts a backflip to dodge a thrown stick, but trips over his own feet. Speed. Sue. Need more practice, obviously. But Speed wasn't just a wild card. Deep inside, he felt the weight of his new responsibilities. The seas were dangerous, and bigger threats loomed. Speed, quietly. I've got this power now, but can I protect everyone I care about? Chat, what do you think? Sue. The wind rustled the leaves, carrying whispers of the dark figure watching them. Shadow figure, whispering. The bark god awakens. Soon, he will face the true test. Just as Speed began to understand his powers and his place in this strange new world, the pirate clowns came back for revenge. But this time they brought their biggest, craziest weapon, the clown boss Juggles and his army of pie-throwing maniacs. Juggles, grinning wildly. You think a barking madman can stop me? Prepare to be the joke of the seas. Speed, pumping his fists. Sue, joke's on you, Juggles. Bark god's got a surprise you didn't see coming. Speed leaps in a hybrid form, eyes blazing red, tail swishing. Speed. Hybrid bark blast. Su. He lets out a massive, concentrated sonic bark blast that sends Juggles and his goons flying like ragdolls. Juggles, groaning. You may have won this round, Bark God, but the circus isn't over yet. With the clowns defeated, the village erupted in cheers. Speed, still buzzing with energy, couldn't help but do an impromptu victory dance, complete with several backflips, some successful, some not. Speed, grinning ear to ear. So, that's how we do it. Bark pirates are officially a thing, chat. And this is just the beginning. Mina, looking. You're impossible, Speed. But I'm glad you're on our side. Speed, serious for a moment. Yeah, no more clowns, no more pirates messing with this place. We're gonna protect it. Bark pirates forever. But far beyond East Blue, powerful eyes watch Speed's every move, from the dark depths of the Grand Line to the sky, islands above. His journey to become the Bark King was just beginning. Shadow figure, quietly. The Bark God awakens, but the seas will test him like never before. Speed excited. All right, chat, that's Arc 1. The Bark Awakening. We went from 0 to Bark God real quick. Get ready for more action, more crazy bark moves, and of course, way more backflips. Sue, thanks for sticking with me. Next up, Fishman feuds, Sky Islands, and maybe even a run-in with the Straw Hats. Stay hyped and stay barking. Speed, pointing at the camera, grinning. Yo, if you enjoyed this wild ride, the barks, the flips, the chaos, the SIUUU, then what are you waiting for? Speed, screaming. Follow the journey, chat. Subscribe right now for Arc 2. It's going to be crazier, louder, and way more barky. Speed, dancing, doing a half backflip. Next time we're diving deep into the Fishman feud, I might unlock full beast mode. And who knows, maybe I'll bark a Sea King into submission. Speed, serious tone, one eyebrow up. Don't miss it. Bark pirates are rising. And this is just the beginning. Speed, jumping in the air. Phew. Hit that sub button, turn on notice. And join me in Arc 2, baby!